What's good, y'all? L Famous, living my life, not thinking about it twice. Don't be scared to like, subscribe, or share this dope content if you like it. Let's get it, man. Yeah, man, let's get it. Now, today's joint is gonna be about marijuana. Yeah, weed, bud, ganja, that fire, you heard? Know what I'm saying? That piff, know what I'm saying? That Zaza, you heard? Yeah, man. And I noticed that weed is big right now, you know what I'm saying? But we always been big. I want to know what happened to that weed about 15, 20 years ago that we was smoking. Because if y'all notice, that marijuana that we was smoking 15, 20 years ago, that was coming from Washington Heights and all that haze, that a lot of that haze and all that piff that was coming from Florida, right? If you notice, do y'all remember when we was smoking back then? I used to smoke about $200, $150 to $200 worth of smoke a day. Word to my mother, B. That was crazy, B. On a broke day, I'm smoking at least $100 on a broke day. And the reason why I used to have to smoke so much is because it was something about that weed that wasn't getting us high like that, and it used to burn fast. Am I right or wrong, y'all? Keep it real. Do y'all remember 20 years ago or 15 years ago, the marijuana, the weed that was on the streets? You roll it up, you heard? It was mad light. You remember we had to smoke dubs. Remember we used to smoke dubs, B. I'm around my neighborhood, we dumped dubs, you heard? That's what we used to smoke. Anybody know it used to be a 10 to a gram in a dub, you heard? And we used to dump dubs. And sometimes you could dump a dub and still don't get high. That's my word, man. You could dump a dub and still don't get high. Word to my mother, man. I don't know what's going on, because nowadays the weed that we got now that is legalized is like you getting as high as you could be, man. You could smoke a blunt, and you high as a kite. You know what I'm saying? You could roll up a blunt, and the blunt you could burn on the blunt for an hour or so. But back like 15, 20 years ago, that blunt used to light the blunt. Three pulls, the blunt is gone. They was robbing us. They had us spending our money. Spending our money because the weed, it was something wrong with that weed. That pip that we was getting from Florida, I'm telling you, it was something different about that weed than the weed that we getting now. That's coming from California mainly. You heard? The exotic. I'm telling you, man, because now you could roll a blunt up and you could burn on the blunt for hours. For hours. When we, back 15, 20 years ago, when the weed was coming from Florida, it kept you spending your money. I'm telling you, I used to smoke $150 to $200 worth of weed every day for nothing. Because you basically had to have a blunt every hour, because the weed was not getting you high like the weed is getting you high today. And I was talking to my peoples about that. I was telling them like yo, you don't notice how the weed today is different from the weed 15, 20 years ago? And I'm talking about the way it burned, the way it hits you. You understand what I'm saying? Everything. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I'm like, yo, man, they was beating us, man. They was growing that weed a certain way, to whereas it was burning. We was burning through our money. We was burning through our money. Everybody was smoking top dollar. Everybody was spending top dollar on weed. This is when ounces was $4.75 and all that. Everybody was spending top money on weed, but the weed was not burning or tasting nothing like how it tastes today. Am I right or wrong, y'all? Let's keep it real. Know what I'm saying? Just like the back in the days weed. Remember back in the days, we had the tie stick. Know what I'm saying? We had the land spread. Know what I'm saying? We had the chocolate. You heard the chocolate tie. You know what I'm saying? You had the skunk. Know what I'm saying? You had the Buddha. You had the cess. Know what I'm saying? That's the weed that I came up on when I first started smoking. Know what I'm saying? But before I went to jail, the hydro done hit. You know what I'm saying? Used to go to 119th and 2nd, 124th and 2nd, 126th and Madison. You heard? Know what I'm saying? Go downtown, go get some of that machine gun funk. Go get some of that Dabla. You know what I'm saying? Go get some of that Tybo. You heard? Know what I'm saying? Go to the Red Door, 152nd, the Red Door. You heard? I heard dudes mention that. The owner of that, the Red Door, you know what I'm saying, 152nd Street. You know what I'm saying? You had Shaka Zulu, Three Wise Men. Then in the Bronx, you had Elliot. You had my man Chris on Bathgate. Yeah, my man Chris on Bathgate, man. You heard? You had the Blue Door. You heard? You had Wife Place. You know what I'm saying? You had Burt Avenue uptown. You know what I'm saying? Burt. You know what I'm saying? These are the major spots. But a lot of dudes don't know about Manny's. Yeah, Manny's, man. Manny's that was on 168. You heard? Yeah, Manny's on 168 between Fulton and 3rd Avenue. You heard? Yeah, Manny's. Only be open for like an hour, 45 minutes. Open like 10 o'clock in the morning and it be closed by 10:45. Niggas don't know nothing about Manny's. You heard? They had the rawest smoke in the Bronx. You heard? Yeah, Manny's, 168 between Fulton and 3rd Avenue. Be open for 45 minutes to an hour. You heard? It open at 10 o'clock. You get there at 10:50, it be closed. That's my word. It be closed, B. Know what I'm saying? So I came up, I've been smoking since I was like, what, 15? Know what I'm saying? Like 15, 16. I'm in my 40s now. You know how this go. So, know what I'm saying? It is what it is, man. But yeah, man, the smoke today is much better than the smoke yesterday. You heard? Smoke today is much better than the smoke yesterday. You heard? Know what I'm saying? And I'm glad they got it legal, man. Cause you know what I'm saying, they used to lock us up for a joint, B. But back in the days, it was real, man. We used to smoke everywhere. When I say everywhere, we used to smoke in Chinese restaurants. We used to smoke in buildings. We used to smoke in train stations. We used to smoke on a train. We used to smoke in the school stairwell. You heard? Dudes just smoke everywhere. I remember I even smoked in the hospital one time when I got stabbed, B. Yeah, B. I smoked in the hospital. I told niggas to bring me some weed to the hospital, B. I went in the bathroom and I blew me a little joint. You heard? A little half a blunt. You heard? This was back in the days when you could do stuff like that in the hospital. You heard? I went in the bathroom, put the shower on, and blew me a half a blunt, B. You heard? I ain't even care. You heard? Word. You know what I'm saying? We used to smoke everywhere, B. You know what I'm saying? So get in the comment section. Tell me about your smoke. Where you used to buy your smoke from. You know what I'm saying? Tell me an ill smoke story. You know what I'm saying? Anything, B. You heard? You know what I'm saying? Smoke, you know what I'm saying? Keeping us calm right now, man. It's a lot of, the world is hectic right now, you know what I'm saying? So that's the best thing they did by making smoke legal, you know what I'm saying? People need something to relieve some stress, you heard? Because once you could have 1,000 problems, but you smoke a blunt, it's like you ain't got none, you heard? You know what I'm saying? It's like you ain't got none, B. You heard? So shout out to the smoke game, you heard?